Boo! Hello, I am back from the void, and to be honest, while I was in the void, I was lurking around like I usually do, endlessly, in the vast darkness, and I've noticed that outside of the void lately has been a bit louder than usual. So I decided to take a peek outside, and, oh. Oh, okay. There's a lot more of you guys here now since my last full video that I uploaded. Am I nervous about that? Yes. But I am still here and I am super grateful for all of you new lovely people that have flooded my channel with such kind words and support. It means more than you know. I know I'm very repetitive. I've said thank you like 4 times now, but genuinely, thank you. With that, why are we here? What are we doing? We're doing things. We're doing art things. Last week I was out in town, which is rare for me, and I went to a Five Below. Now, I've only been to a Five Below like 2 to 3 times now, and I never knew that they have art supplies. They have a lot of art supplies, more than I thought they would have, and when I went down the aisle and saw said art supplies, I was super surprised and super hyped, where it's like, oh my god, there's art supplies here? I bet they're not amazing, but still, this is cool. Maybe I can make a cool little video out of this. So that's what we're gonna do. I grabbed some cheap, cool looking art supplies from Five Below, and we're gonna try to make some art today with it. Now, before I go on to showing you guys what I got from Five Below, I wanted to take a second to say, since I've hit over 10,000 subscribers, I made a post saying that I want to make a Q&A video for hitting this milestone, and some of you have already commented. Thank you so much for your questions. I will make sure to answer them in that video. But I also wanted to take a chance, just in case none of you have seen that post, to, if you have any questions for me, I plan on making a Q&A video. So feel free to ask me some questions in the comments below if you'd like. If not, that's totally okay, no worries. I just thought it would be a lot of fun to make a cool little Q&A video so you guys can learn a little bit more about me if you're interested, or if you just have a random question that you want me to answer for the hell of it. Cool. Cool, I am down. I honestly thought about adding the Q&A segment to this video, but I think it would be a lot of fun just to make a separate little video, because I kind of want to do some interesting things in that video, if that makes any sense. Maybe you won't even see my desk or my hands. It's just gonna be art. It's just gonna be a whole other thing. I don't know. We'll see. To start off, I think this is the main item that I'm going to use today, in all honesty. I found a watercolor marker set. I have never messed with watercolor markers before. I'm not really sure how they work, but I saw this and I was like, yeah, I want to make a video of me struggling to use these. There's 13 colors and it comes with 3 brushes. Now, these are watercolor brushes that you fill in the little tube. I haven't messed with paintbrushes like this in like 6 years, so even if these are really cheap quality, I am stoked to try these little plastic watercolor brushes since it's been so long. Now, the next item I got, I don't know what it is with the pastel theme, but I got some pastel dual-ended alcohol markers. Now, these are bullet nibs, they are not brush nibs, so this is going to take me back to my early Ahuhu days. Ahuhu markers back in 2018, they didn't even have brush nibs, they had the standard bullet nibs, and I don't think I've messed with markers with bullet nibs since then, so this is going to be fun. There's 18 colors in here. I thought these colors were super cute. Off the bat, these feel so light and cheap. Yeah, what were you expecting? You bought these at Five Below, but it's just kind of scary how light these feel. It's it doesn't even feel like there's ink in these. But yeah, I got this cute little 18 set of alcohol markers. And to end it off, we got some stamps, some stamp markers. I don't think I've messed around with stamp markers. The last time I think the last time I bought stamp markers was my Temu video, and they were a little disappointing. I hope these aren't dry. I hope these actually stamp well. Are they? No, probably not. But hey, look, there's a certain somebody. I will say, it's still bothering me so much that I didn't grab this. When I was at the Five Below, mostly the markers caught my eye, but I found they had a small palette of jelly cup gouache, which shocked me to see something like that there. I've never seen jelly cup gouache out in the public at all, so to find a little set at Five Below of all places was like, oh my god. I should have grabbed it just for the hell of it, but I didn't because I grabbed 3 things of markers. And originally, I feel like I would have grabbed that for this video, but a big reason why I strayed away and stuck with the markers was because if I was going to get a small thing of Jelly Cup Gouache, I was wanting to find some cheap brushes and maybe some mixed media paper to test out with it so it's not just one supply, but I couldn't find any cheap mixed media paper or brushes there at all for the life of me. So I went ahead and just stuck with the markers. So that's what we're going to work with today. So let's go on to swatching all of these markers. With markers, one of the biggest things that I have to try right away is if the caps can snap on the backs. It is very important that the caps can snap on the backs. And I am so upset right now. As soon as I try to hold them in my hand, they are a bit uncomfortable with how boxy and square-like they are. It's a bit hard to get a grip on them. But so far these colors seem pretty nice and smooth. They kind of surprised me that they weren't super streaky. And everything was going kind of okay until these caps are such a pain. I don't know why or what's going on, but they were so difficult to snap back on. When I first started swatching these markers, it was a little concerning because when I first put the ink down on the paper, it made it look grayish. It was a bit dark and murky looking. I don't think I've really seen many markers do that before, where when you first use them, they look a bit scary, but then once they dry, it's all good. On to the stamp markers. Now the stamp markers, I will say, the markers themselves are super cute. I love that on the side of the marker it shows the little stamp design and the little swiggle on it. It's so cute. Of course, the first time I tested out, it's scaring me. It's looking scary. These were really 50-50. Some of them stamped well, some of them didn't. I think out of all the stamps, the star was the best one. It was so smooth and satisfying to put the black stars down. The watercolor markers. I was super excited about the watercolor brushes, and the wide brush, it was just shedding. And I wanted to test out if the other brush had the same problem, but the texture of the other brush was completely different. It was almost like oily and waxy, like it didn't feel normal. Now the water part of these brushes itself, they didn't have any problems. They weren't leaking off the sides, they were actually going through the brush, which was nice. When these paints were dry, they were slightly chalky. That's kind of a given with cheap watercolor art supplies, but I think the colors are pretty nice. Alright, now that we have our swatches done, it is time to start sketching. Now I will say, I think I'm going to redraw some old art. Is that what this video is about necessarily? No, it's not a redrawing old art video. Redrawing old art wasn't really an intention of mine, but I was recently looking back on some old sketchbooks and I found a character that I drew twice. So I thought it'd be really cool to make some art of said character. This sketchbook is from 2019 and it's insane to think that 2019 was 7 years ago. I hate that. I hate thinking that. But in this sketchbook there's if I can get it. Okay. There's this doodle. Look at this character. I think I've only drawn her twice, and I'm pretty sure this doodle specifically inspired me to make my persona Elvira, which is the main face of this channel, which is really cool to think about. So I think it would be a lot of fun to redraw this. I think I have the right colors, somewhat. I can make the right colors with this. So yeah, I thought that would be a neat little idea. With that, it is time to sketch. So let's go to another fancy angle and start sketching some art out. Real quick, before going to a fancy angle, I just realized that I only have a few more pages left in the sketchbook. So soon, I'm gonna have to do a sketchbook tour. How exciting is that? I've never done a sketchbook tour yet on this channel, which is insane to think about. I've been here for a little over a year and a half and I still haven't finished a sketchbook. Art block is my biggest downfall. So I got the art finished up and here's how it turned out. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this. I think it looks nice, I think the colors are pretty, but the main thing that was just giving me so much trouble and I kept making mistake after mistake with was this one. This full body sketch. First off, the legs. I wanted to kind of stick with the wonky leg theme because in the original art, she had such skinny twig-like legs, which I think is cute in its own way, but I wanted to keep the whole weird skinny-ish legs with the long sweatshirt that goes over it. But I think it looks a little weird. And also, the biggest thing was I really wanted to stick with only using the art supplies I got from Five Below. I used the end of this black stamp marker for the line art, and in the original drawing as well, she has pink eyes, but I put black over the top of it, so I kind of wanted to try to stick to that, and it just doesn't look right. This looks a hell of a lot better than the black eyeliner and the eyes. And of course, when I used this pen for the eyes, it feathered out and was absolutely terrifying, and I had to perform surgery to somewhat fix it. Same with her little strappies here. It feathered out and I had to try to perform surgery to fix it. Other than that, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed messing around with these cheap art supplies. I don't think it looks terrible. I mainly like this side more than this, but I gave it a shot and this is how it turned out. I will say, out of all the art supplies, surprisingly these alcohol markers aren't bad. They're cheap. They feel really cheap. They're not very comfortable in your hands. The lids don't snap onto the backs, which sucks, but I mean, these are 18 markers for $5. But the ink themselves, it's not bad. It blended okay. There's no streakies. I thought this was going to be so much more streaky with the bullet nib, but honestly, it's pretty good. So if you ever go to a Five Below and you want some cool markers that aren't absolutely terrible, these are not bad. I will say that. They're not amazing, but they're not bad. They surprised me. The other art supplies were a bit more tricky to work with. Those watercolor markers, man, they were something else, but I think I did the best I could. And the stamp markers were a lot of fun to use. I used them for the line art, and I don't think it looks too bad, besides the black marker. We're not going to talk about that. I guess if you guys would like to mess around with any cheap art supplies and you got $5 laying around, go to the Five Below and maybe try to find those markers, because I think I highly recommend those markers out of everything else. They're not bad. They're not bad, and it's a lot of fun just to mess around with stuff like this. So I think I'm just kind of prolonging the ending because, again, I suck at ending videos. I'm kind of thinking about trying to figure out something to say every time to make it easy, like an actual official outro, but we're still going to continue struggling. I'll just start off by ending this video by saying, if you made it to the very end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching this all the way through. It means a lot. I hope you enjoyed watching me make some art, and maybe you made some art yourself while watching this. That's pretty cool. I hope you had fun with whatever you did while watching this video, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully I don't take another month to post a full-length video. I have some ideas in my head, so I'm going to try to stick to them to post at least maybe one more time before March is over. If not, then hopefully the first week of April. I'll try to hold myself to that. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thanks a bunch again for watching if you did, and keep staying cool. Alright, goodbye. Bye. Bye, character that inspired my persona. Maybe I'll draw you again. Your hair is pretty cool. Yeah, okay. Goodbye. Goodbye.